When I first went to Japan in 1967, I was absolutely amazed to see so many sculptures that were fluorescent, that were shining, that were somehow busily occupying a huge space. And so I started becoming interested in what was happening. Many of the artists who were included in this exhibition represented the experimental trend in Japan after the war. They were called Jiken Kobo, or experimental workshop. And the interesting thing about them was that none of them had been to art school. There were sculptures, miniatures, graphics, posters, films, and music, including music scores. As you entered the gallery, walking down some steps, and it was a very large gallery at the time, on a white rectangle on the floor, you saw projections of the monshos, the Japanese imperial symbols and other symbols. Then you came across a sculpture which invited you to go into a room where the floor was completely uneven. It's to give you a sense of awareness, of looking at something from the position you assume. That was quite an unusual view taken by Kohei Sugiura, the designer of the exhibition. Later on, there were sculptures, sometimes shown completely in the dark because either they had lights inside them or they had ultraviolet light shining on them. At the side, there was a long corridor where posters were hung on cubes from the ceiling and graphics went along the wall. There were two posters for the exhibition. One, quite large one, gave details of the ICA. The smaller poster, much brighter, was folded, and the other side was the catalogue. What is important about this exhibition is that it was, of course, the first exhibition of avant-garde Japanese art after the war in the West. You mustn't forget that in 1968, and it opened after cybernetic serendipity, there were not so many galleries and art centres in London as there are today. And so there would be the concentration of the interested public would be here, because the ICA provided material which wasn't available anywhere else.